Hello, it's Leslie Fightmaster, and today's class is yoga for your feet, toes, ankles, and calves to stretch and strengthen. And this is Kaylee B. Drummer 23 who requested this, and also Dora and Adri Young, how to relieve foot joint pain, stretching for the ankle. So we're going to start in Virasana. So if you have a block, put it between your ankles and sit right down on the block. You can also sit on your heels if you like. And then from that block, start to lengthen up really tall. So there I am sitting on my heels to show that. You can also sit right in between your feet, but that's a pretty big opening. So it might be a little too much for the beginning. But whatever you choose, sit on the heels or the block or the floor, lengthen away from your sit bones. So you're going to sit up nice and tall, and right now you're on the tops of your feet, and so you're stretching out through the ankles already as you begin to come into your breath. So the inhales and exhales are equal in length. Lift your chest and soften your shoulder blades. And today for your practice, I invite you to think of something that you really wanted to achieve, a dream or an ambition, something that you would love to do, but you kind of put it on the back burner because maybe someone told you that it's not possible. So keeping that in mind today for our practice, we're going to come up off of your heels and then tuck your toes under and then sit back onto your heels. So your toes are tucked under right now and your weight is onto your heels. If it's too much, you just kind of get off the feet for a moment, come on up, and then sit back down if you can. This is called Thunderbolt Pose. And it really does wake up a lot of the energy channels in the feet. And if you're not used to putting pressure on your feet this way, it can be really uncomfortable. So be sure to pay attention to how long you can stay in this pose. And then inhale and reach your arms up, drawing the shoulder blades lightly down. And then exhale, just bring the arms back down, interlace your fingers behind your back, and inhale. Widen through the chest and reach your knuckles toward the floor. And I'm still sitting on my heels. And then I'm coming off into a low squat, and I'm going to balance here. So now I'm using the muscles in my feet and my ankles, plus my core muscles to help myself balance. Keep lifting the belly. That's going to help with the balance. And then I'm slowly coming all the way up to standing, and I'm still on my tippy toes. And reach the arms up and overhead, still on your tippy toes. Find a spot to focus on. It's kind of hard to balance. And then exhale, come down onto your heels and fold all the way forward into Uttanasana. Let your head hang down, and then inhale, come halfway up. As you exhale, we're just going to come back onto the knees. The toes are untucked. You're on the tops of your feet, sitting back again in Virasana. Coming back to your steady breathing, lifting the chest. Shoulder blades glide down toward the waist. And then come on to the knees. We'll tuck the toes under and again into that thunderbolt, sitting back onto the heels. So this one's sort of an acquired taste. If it doesn't feel very good to begin, that's pretty normal. But after a while, if you continue practicing this one, it'll actually start to feel kind of nice in your feet. And we use our feet so much, but then we don't necessarily give them a lot of attention in our yoga practice, and it really is important. They are the foundation of our poses. We'll inhale, circle the arms out, around, and up, reach up, draw the shoulder blades lightly down, and then exhale, interlace the fingers with the other pinky on top, and then open the chest as you reach your knuckles down toward the floor behind you, a little bit toward the back of your mat, and releasing, and then coming up. This time I didn't touch the floor to come up onto the balls of my feet. It's possible, it takes a little practice. And then just balancing here. I like to raise my palms up as I come all the way up. We're going to stay up onto the tiptoes as you reach up tall, so the heels are still off the floor. And then we'll exhale. And still reaching up on the tiptoes, and now we'll come down, exhaling and taking a forward fold. Inhale, lengthen with a nice long spine, and then exhale. I'm going to come to seated, crossed at the shins, and with my left hand, actually with my right hand, I'm going to put my fingers in between each toe on the left foot. So it's kind of like I'm holding hands with my foot. And then with my left hand, I'm going to put those fingers in between the toes of the right foot. And I'm just going to hold them here. And what this does is just going to give me a little bit of awareness to be able to spread my toes. A lot of people can't spread the toes. I'm not very good at it, but this helps me. And then just to get a nice stretch in the hips, I put the left knee over the right knee, sitting up nice and tall. I get a little hip stretch already. And then exhale. To intensify it some, I fold forward. If it's too much to cross knee over knee, then don't do that. You can just stay with the shins crossed, and you'll probably get a hip stretch that way as well. And just still holding the toes. Inhale to come up, and I'll switch. So I'm going to take my fingers out of the toes, and I'm going to put the right leg over the left, and then take my left hand on my right toes, right hand on the left toes. And you can stay right here with the shins crossed. Or you can take your right knee over your left knee, lining knee on top of knee. These are Gomukhasana legs, a nice hip opening. Stay seated upright, or as you want a deeper stretch, you can exhale and fold the belly right over the thigh, keeping a long spine. So I'm not going to let my head drop. I'm just going to try to keep the crown of the head reaching toward the front of the mat so that my head and my neck and my spine are all in line. And keeping the breath steady as I'm here breathing into the hips. And inhales come up, and we'll release the toes and cross at the shins. And we'll make our way to table, then walk the hands forward about a handprint. Tuck your toes under into down dog with the knees bent. So I'm going to come way up onto my tiptoes again and bend the knees. And keep my hips up so high and stretch out the spine. But then I'm also again way up onto the balls of the feet. And now reaching down through the left heel, keep the right knee bent. And you can even walk that left foot back a little bit. We want to stretch out the calf. So bigger stretch, you would walk the left foot toward the back of the mat a little. If it's a good stretch, stay. And then back to way up onto the balls of the feet, and then reach the right heel down. And again, you can move back on the mat if you want a deeper stretch. And my fingers are spread nice and wide. The arms are shoulders distance apart. Inhale again, way up onto the balls of the feet. And then exhale, try to reach both heels toward the floor. So we're going to actively reach the heels toward the floor. Doesn't mean that they have to touch, but we want to stretch out the calf muscles as much as we can. Keep a nice steady gaze between your feet or knees, and then way up onto the balls of the feet again. Inhale, exhale, reach the heels down. Look up, either step, or if you want to hop, you can hop. Inhale to lengthen, hands to shins or fingertips to the floor. Exhale, fold forward, bend the knees a little on this first one if you need. Inhale, root down through the feet, come all the way up, come onto the balls of your feet, stretch up, and exhale, hands to heart. Surya Namaskara A. So first, I'm going to come up to feet hips width apart or together. Spread the toes, and then just play with, can you set down one toe at a time? It's not easy. So you just do the best that you can, but spread your toes out as much as you can so you feel very, very grounded through the feet. Draw the low belly in and reach your tailbone toward the floor as you press your thighs back. And then inhale, reaching up, follow the hands, the gaze up. Exhale and fold forward, hinging from your hips. Reach the crown of the head toward the floor. Inhale, lengthen, look up, exhale, and come back into plank pose, top of a push-up. And the knees can be up or down. Shift forward about an inch, lower to the belly on the exhale. And inhale to cobra. Press onto the tops of the feet. Press all the toes down, even your pinky toes. So you want to press through the tops of the feet and the toes. Then exhale to the knees, tuck the toes, downward dog. If you need a little bicycle of the legs a little bit more, you can still continue to bend one knee and the other. And spreading the fingers wide, look forward, bend the knees, step or hop the feet to hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale to fold. Shift the weight a little toward the balls of your feet if your legs are straight. Inhale, rise up, reach up onto the balls of the feet, and then exhale, heels down. Samasthiti. Spread your toes out again as much as you can. Lift your chest, soften your shoulder blades down toward the waist. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold with a long spine. Inhale, lengthen, offer your heart. Exhale, step to plank or hop back and land in Chaturanga. Lower from plank, hug your elbows in, keep your belly lifted. Inhale, sliding forward on the feet onto the tops of the feet for up dog, or you can stick with cobra. Exhale, lift the hips, come way up high, and then try to roll right over your toes, both at the same time. So as you lift from up dog to down dog, lead with your hips and your belly muscles. So come way up high, the feet will slide forward a little, and then you can roll right over the toes using the belly muscles to make the weight on your feet very light. Look forward, bend the knees, hips high, step or hop your feet. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to fold. Inhale, come all the way up. Reach all the way up onto your tiptoes. Exhale, bring your hands to the heart. Spread your toes out. Get nice and grounded through the feet, evenly pressing to the base of your big toes, little toes, and inner outer heels. Inhale, circle your arms up. Exhale and fold forward, hinging from your hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step or float. If you float back, land in Chaturanga, shoulders no lower than your elbows. Inhale, press through your hands and feet, opening the front of your body. And then lift your hips, slide the feet forward a little to roll over your toes. Now if you can't roll over your toes, then instead of doing one toe then the other, inhale, reach your heels way up off the floor. Exhale, take them down. So if you can't do them both at the same time, inhale up. Exhale, reach the heels down. Then just flip them over and then go into down dog. Inhale, way up onto the balls of the feet. Exhale, reach the heels down. It's better than doing one foot in the other. Inhale, way up onto the balls of your feet, stretch up, and exhale, reach down through the heels. Because if you do one foot then the other, and then unless you want to alternate, inhale, step or hop forward with a nice long spine. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, press down to rise all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart, Samasthiti. Spread out your toes. Find that nice, steady foundation. And then we're going to take tree pose. So ground down through the left leg first. Pick up your right foot. Take it anywhere above or below your knee. Press the foot into the leg. Press the leg back into the foot. Drop your right hip down, hands to heart center as you get your balance. Now, just let me mention that balance is different on different days, so don't take it personally if you have a difficult balancing day. Today was a difficult balancing day for me. So reach up through the arms, keep your steady gaze to help. I was definitely a little wobbly today. And then we'll point the knee toward the front, extend the leg out, bend your standing leg, and put your right leg on top of the left leg, wrapping it around once or twice, and then left arm over the right arm. And then you'll just holding here, squeezing the legs, lifting the belly, keep that nice steady gazing point. And then slowly undo the arms, undo the leg, and back to center. Other side. We'll ground down now through the right leg, pick up the left foot, bring the hands to the heart center as you settle in. So you take the foot anywhere above or below your knee. Try and drop the left hip down, squeeze the right hip in. Hands to heart center to settle in. And whenever you're ready, reach up through your arms. So again, it helps to keep that nice steady gaze there. I completely fell out of the pose. I was going to do it over and I thought, no, people should know that I fall out of poses too. So I fall out of tree, so if you fall out of tree, it's not a big deal. And then point the knee to the front, point the leg to the front and extend the leg. Bend your standing knee, cross your left leg on top of the right, and then right arm over left arm. I'm going to lose my balance here again in a moment. Try to bring your hip points to face the front of the mat. And there I go. So if you come out, just come right back in. Lift the elbows a little bit. Steady gaze. And release your arms. Release the leg. Back to Samastitihi. And then take a quarter turn to the left. Step your feet out. We're going to turn your right leg all the way out, your back toes in. And exhale for Warrior Two. Line up front heel and back arch. Now press into your front heel and lift your toes right up off the floor. And then through the back foot, press with the outer edge of the pinky toe side. Spin the inner thigh up toward the ceiling. And squeeze your outer ankle in the back foot. Gaze over the fingertips. And inhale, straighten the leg, feet to parallel. We'll do the other side. Left leg all the way out, back toes in. Heel to arch alignment. And exhale, bend your left knee over the ankle and point the knee over the second toe. Press into the front heel, the left heel, lift up through the toes and your back foot, your right foot. Press into the pinky toe side, lift your inner arch and squeeze your outer ankle in and up. So again, really focusing on the foundation of the pose. In this case, it's the feet. Inhale, come on up, bring your hands to your hips, point your toes out and your heels in. We'll come into a high squat. So begin to bend your knees, press your knees back, but drop your tailbone down. So scoop the pelvis forward. Inhale, reach up through your arms, and then lift your right heel up and set it down. And lift your left heel up, exhale, set it down. Inhale, pick up your right heel, exhale, lower. Inhale, pick up your left heel, and exhale to lower. Inhale for the right, exhale, take it down. Inhale the left heel, exhale, lower. Inhale, both heels up. You might shake here a little bit. Try and squeeze your outer hips, your inner thighs, draw in toward each other. Keep pressing into the ball of the foot. Slowly begin to straighten your legs. You may be shaking here as well. And then we'll release the heels and take the arms down. Feet to parallel, step or hop together and back to the front of your mats. Spread your toes, find your nice foundation through the feet. Inhale, up onto the balls of the feet, bend the knees, come into chair pose, Uttanasana. Keep your heels off the floor here. Exhale, keeping the heels off the floor, fold forward. Once you get forward, take the heels down. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back, plank pose or hop to Chaturanga. Inhale, slide onto the tops of the feet, roll your shoulder heads back. Exhale, slide the feet forward, roll over the toes. Right leg up, inhale. Exhale, step it up by the right hand. Stand the ball of the back foot, coming to Crescent. Today, we're going to come way up onto the ball of the back foot so that your left heel is directly over the ball of your left foot if you can. Pull the right hip back, let it drop down. And if you get that heel right over the ball of the foot, you are really, really going to feel the legs activate. So you got to firm the leg, the back leg, while keeping the heel over the ball of the foot. Scissor the inner thighs toward each other as if you were holding a block between your inner thighs. Exhale the hands down, stand the ball of the back foot, lift your right arm up, keep your left hand down. Stretching up, shoulders in line with each other. Try to keep your hips level as you make your twist. Exhale the hands, stepping back, Chaturanga, shoulders no lower than elbows. Inhale to press up. Exhale, and downward facing dog. Left leg up, inhale, lifting from the inner thigh. Exhale, lightly step it through. Stand the ball of the back foot again. Get your heel way, way, way up high, right above the ball of the foot. Drop your tailbone down, pull your left hip back. Try and see how much you can lift your back heel. As you lift your back heel, feel how much that engages your legs. Make sure the left knee stays over the ankle. And again, scissoring the inner thighs, lift the low belly. Keep your front ribs softening in toward the front of your body as you lift your back ribs up. And one more breath. Exhale, hands down. You're going to keep your right hand down and lift up through the left arm. Shoulders in line with each other. So again, try and keep your hips level so your left hip's drawing back and dropping down a little. And the twist comes from above the waist. Exhale, bringing the hands down, Chaturanga. Inhale, pressing up, opening the front of your body, and exhale, rolling over the toes, down dog. Keep a nice, steady breath here. Inhales and exhales equal. Look up to the hands, come way up onto your tiptoes, step or hop feet to hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, folds. Come up off of your heels onto the balls of your feet, bend your knees, come into Uttanasana, into chair pose, reach up through the arms. Keep lifting the heels off the floor and balance with your knees bent. And then straighten your legs, heels off the floor. And then take your heels down, bring your arms back by your sides. Turn again to the left and take your feet out, this time parallel, toes in a little toward each other, hands on hips. Inhale, open the chest, lengthen, exhale to fold. Inhale, lengthen one more time, long spine, and exhale, reach the crown of your head toward the floor. So check where the weight is now in your feet. A lot of times the weight rolls to the balls of the feet. Or I'm sorry, the weight rolls to the heels, so shift it to the balls of the feet. That's what I meant. Squeeze the outer hips, the inner thighs, gaze off the tip of the nose. And then you can even lift your toes here as well. As you press into the heels and lift the toes a little bit, activating the legs. Come on up, hands to hips. Come up with a long spine as you inhale. And we're going to heel toe the feet to about hips width, maybe a little bit wider. Come up onto the balls of the feet, reach your arms up. Inhale. Exhale, arms to the sides, bend the knees, but keep up onto the balls of the feet. Inhale, stretch up on the balls of the feet. Exhale, lower, keep the heels as high as you can. Inhale, reach up. If this hurts your knees, exhale, lower, then take your heels down, and you can do the same thing with heels down. Inhale, reach. Exhale, lower, heels high, keep the belly lifted. Inhale, arms up. Use a little resistance in your arms. Exhale, lower, and hold. Keep holding here. Keep the hips high. Keep a spot to focus on. Palms face up as you inhale to come up, and exhale, come on down, heels down. Then come up onto the balls of the feet again. Inhale, arms up, bend the knees. Exhale, come down. Now arms in front as you bend the knees. Inhale, exhale, stand up, arms down. Inhale, reach the arms, keep up off the heels. Exhale, arms down. Inhale, arms in front, heels high. Exhale, come back to center. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, coming down with the arms. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, straighten. Inhale, reach the arms, bend the knees. Exhale, arms down by your sides. Inhale, bend the knees, arms in front. Exhale, take the arms back. Inhale, sit back, but keep the heels high. Exhale, come to stand. Inhale, heels off the floor the whole time if you can. And come back to the front of your mats. Inhale, circle the arms up. Exhale, hinge from your hips and fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, step or float, Chaturanga. Inhale, pushing forward, come onto the tops of the feet, roll the shoulder heads back. Exhale, lift the hips, reaching back, heels toward the floor. Look up, step or hop, and come to seated. All the way through, and lie back for bridge pose. Take your feet hips width apart, press down into the heels, lift the belly, lift the hips, low back, mid back, maybe upper back. Interlace your fingers, or you can keep the palms flat, chin away from chest, and then press into the heels, lift the toes. Feel how that activates your leg muscles a little bit more. Keep lifting the toes with the balls and the feet can stay on the floor. Lower down, exhale, and just take a couple breaths and bring to mind again that wish, that intention, what you would love to achieve or have. And somewhere along the way, you may have been told that it's not possible, but tell yourself it is. Press into the heels, lift up again into bridge. Spiral your thighs, bring your right knee into your chest and lift the right leg up, pointing through the ball of your foot, really activating that leg. Press into the right heel, the heel that's on the floor, and then release it down. I might have said right, I meant left. Right leg up this time, left foot is down. Reach to the ball of the foot, press through the left heel that's on the floor. Lift your pelvis, firming the legs, keeping the ball of the foot reaching up to the ceiling, and release it. Come on down. Let the soles of the feet come together. Drop your knees open, put a hand on your belly, one hand on your heart, breathing into that desire, that wish, that dream. So you may have been told it's not possible, you can't do it. Give yourself the possibility, maybe even just the possibility that it's possible to start. Hug your knees into your chest, rocking here a little bit. And then begin to extend the legs up toward the ceiling. Balls of the feet again, pressing up. You can stay right here. This can be your inversion. If you take shoulder stand, lift the legs overhead. A lot of times I use blankets, but today I didn't. Legs overhead because I'm not staying that long. And then lifting the legs up. Hands are supporting the low back. Keep your chin away from your chest. And again, I'm reaching through the balls of my feet so I can keep the legs very, very active. Keep the chin long. Or not the chin, the neck long, the chin away from the chest. And continue to press down into the elbows and the upper arms and lift the shoulder blades up away from the floor. So as you press down firmly into the arms, lift your torso away. Then we're starting to take the feet into Halasana, plow pose. Keep lifting the hips, reaching up onto the tops of the feet, and then we'll roll out slowly, slowly. So using the belly muscles, come down slowly. And take your palms flat so that as you come down, your hips will land right on your hands, and that'll support your low back, and you can come down with straight legs using the abdominal muscles to support you. Then once you get down, come onto your elbows and forearms, lift up, and reach the crown of your head back for Matzi, fish pose, which is your counter pose to a shoulder stand. Couple breaths here into the chest, and release. Draw the knees into your chest. Cross your right knee over the left, take the knees over to the left side and look over the right shoulder. Or if it's too much crossing knee on knee, just take your knee over your knee. Take a few breaths here, or maybe just one. Come back to center, cross your left leg over the right and twist to the other side. Turn to look over your left shoulder unless it bothers your neck. Couple breaths here in your twist. And then head to center, unwind your twist. I'm going to grab my blanket today and roll it up. And that way I can put that underneath my knees for a little bit of support. It just feels better for me to have a blanket under my knees. My lower back doesn't hurt, but it just kind of likes it better. It feels more comfortable. So try it if you've got something like that that you can put under your knees. And then arms by your sides with the palms facing up. Ideally, we want our chin and our forehead about in the same line across. So if you find your chin is up higher than your forehead, then let your head rest on a little pillow, maybe a little thin pillow or a blanket. And then allow your feet to just flop open. Take your arms out to the sides a little ways with your palms up. Just feel the belly rise and fall with the breath. Feel your head supported by the floor. Notice the natural curves in your low back and where the back touches and where it doesn't. And then surrender and relax. Natural breathing. I started to read the book called The Alchemist. I don't remember if I mentioned that already, by Paulo Coelho. It's a beautiful book. It's a hero's journey. And at the beginning of the book, he talks about our dreams and how the biggest obstacle to our dreams is that somebody somewhere told us it's not possible. Maybe it was our family, maybe it was people in our community, maybe who knows who it was. But many times we're given that message, oh, you can't do that. Oh, that's just not possible for you. Oh, just forget that. Do something practical. So if you do have a dream that you've kind of pushed off to one side, I just invite you to revisit it, giving yourself the possibility that it could happen. You could do it. You can achieve it. If you really, really try, you set your mind to it and don't give up. So wheel the fingers and the toes, hands and feet, arms and legs. Circle your ankles in one direction and then the other direction. And then reach your arms overhead, stretching. Reach, reach, reach. And then bend the knees, feet on the floor or blanket if you have it there. Roll to your right side. Just pausing there for a moment. Enjoying it. Then make your way up into seated. So our quote from Paulo Coelho, it's the possibility of having a dream come true that makes life interesting. And when you want something, all the universe conspires in helping you to achieve it. Bringing your hands together, hands to the forehead to remind us to have clear and loving thoughts. Hands to the heart center to remind us to have clear and loving intentions. Hands to the mouth to remind us to have clear and loving communications. Namaste. I honor each of you. Thank you so much for joining me today. Please subscribe and push the like button and share the video if you like it. If you're interested in teacher training, send me an email. I'll have it below. If you would like to come on a ladies retreat, yoga retreat, February 19th through the 25th in 2015, please send me a message. Again, my email will be below, or go to my website, fightmasteryoga.com. Thank you so much. Have a great day.